felt sense has some new way that things are in it. It has some new arrangement in it. So if I write a sentence that says, I don't know, with patience you get something new or something, then if I look up patience in the dictionary, or even if I don't look it up, I know right away that patience doesn't mean that thing I mean, right? I'd have to tell a long story. I'd have to say, well, first you go inside and you go to this place where you know and you don't know, and then you stay there, and then you lose track and you have to come back, and you lose track and you have to come back. So it takes a lot of patience in the ordinary sense of patience. But I don't mean that. I mean that funny thing that I do there. So patience is no good. So give me another word. Well, concentration. Yeah, sort of, but not really, right? Concentration means concentrating on something. I could say, I don't know, insisting. This piece of mush, I'm insisting that it will mean something. Well, I look up insisting, and it doesn't mean what I want it to mean. So I've used 3 different words for the same thing, and my 3 different words don't say it. So I give up. This thing is ineffable, unspeakable, unsayable. Language is no good. I can just go and feel it, but I can't say it. All that. Okay. So now we turn it around and we say, but this way we work. We can say that each of those words, I intended each of those words to mean that there, what I do. So that the 3 words mean the same thing, right, in my private way. They all meant whatever I wanted. But of course they don't, because words belong to the public. But what I can do is I can go inside and I can see how that word came, why it even came, why something proposed it, and how that word would work in my felt sense. So I say, well, why did you call it patience? Well, I called it patience because that's what it looks like, because I don't know, but I can see that it does pull out part of my felt sense. And what's that? Well, now comes now I'm ready to speak, but I don't know what I'm going to say yet. And I really don't, because I'm making this one up. What am I going to say? Patience does actually pull out from my felt sense. And where before I called the felt sense murky or mush or whatever, now it turns out the felt sense is more precise, more exact than the public language. When you first have a felt sense, it seems vague, fuzzy, murky, mushy. But when you ask it a question, then it turns out it's more precise than the language. It's like, what does patience pull out from there? Well, at least it pulls out the overcoming of impatience. I say, well, that's interesting. The overcoming of impatience. I already have a new idea here. I don't know that anybody's ever talked about the overcoming of impatience. Of course, I mean this overcoming of this impatience. But given that I use the felt sense, the word patience does pull out something very precise. Okay, now what was my other word? Oh, concentration. Well, yes. Concentration can say that I don't allow myself to go with the distractions. So concentrating can mean always coming back again to what I was distracted from. Then I had another word. Insisting. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Why did I use the word insist? Well, I go in there and I say, what does insist say from here? And then I see that the murkiness, the fuzziness, and so it's a certain stubbornness about waiting. Okay, now the big point is going to be that these three words that I proposed here pull out something different. It turns out that this felt sense had all this stuff in it, all this precise, exact, fussy, fiddly. So if I'm going to use the word, then I can go in and see what does it pull out from there. So where it seemed vague, it turns out to be more precise. Now look at what I'm saying. I'm saying it's vague, but it's more precise. It seems like mush, like indeterminacy, but it's actually more determined. Fresh sentences come. You open your mouth and they come. If we want to talk about how come they come, how it's possible that they would come, then we're in philosophy already. The nature of language that I'm pointing to is this practical fact that if you come from a living situation, fresh sentences can form.